Well, look at this. Oh, my goodness. The NYPD is on the hunt for that man after he was spotted on video in broad daylight stabbing a 16-year-old. The attack, which happened in Brooklyn on Sunday, appears to have been unprovoked. This is just the latest attack in a major Democrat-run city. According to new FBI data, the number of officers killed on duty in 2021 hit a 20-year high as murder rates in major U.S. cities reached similar records. The Bureau says 8 of those officers were ambushed in premeditated killings. Joining us now to discuss is Fraternal Order of Police National Vice President Joe Gamaldi, who is a sergeant in the Houston Police Force. Joe, thank you for your service. Good to see you. I hate to put it this way, but are cops in America sitting ducks these days?
Well, I think it's important to point out just how bad it is and let the public decide for themselves. We have seen historic rates of officers being murdered in the line of duty. 2021 was the highest on record in the last 20 years. Last year, we saw 346 police officers shot in this country, which was a historic number since we started tracking the data. And 2022 is not looking any better, folks. We've already had 142 police officers shot as of today. That is 11% increase year to date over last year's numbers. And, I think probably the most alarming statistic of all is that ambush attacks are up against us 30%. So, you have the media out there, you have politicians, academics trying to convince the public that there's no war on cops. Yeah. Well, give me a break. That is complete BS. It's a joke. And I'll tell you what, if people believe that there's really not a war on cops, I'll send you an application. Go ahead and sign your ass up. Come right out here with me and see how bad it is, because we're hiring.
God bless you. Well, you're hiring, but it must be tougher than ever to get recruits.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely impossible to find anybody to take this job right now. We've seen recruitment completely tank. In New Jersey, they saw a 90% reduction in applications. In Chicago, they saw an 83% reduction. In Colorado, 70% of agencies say they can't find anybody to take the job. And do you really blame folks? We have been demonized and denigrated for the better part of a decade. We have our urban communities who are failing thanks to rogue prosecutors and horrific woke policies like bail reform. And when those social experiments fail, you have politicians blaming police officers. Yeah. So these smart, well-educated folks that we want to take this job, they're voting with their feet and they're taking other positions. And I honestly don't know what the next generation of police officers is going to look like, because these departments are going to have to lower standards just to get somebody in the door.
Well, Americans know how vital police are in their lives. New Yorkers, for example, I've lived in this city for 42 years now. We live in fear like I haven't seen since when I first moved here in the early 1980s. I mean, since the Giuliani administration, that was about 25 years ago when he was elected into office, this is the most dangerous moment. And Americans don't want to live in fear. That's not the way we live.
Absolutely, David. And the public's waking up. A recent Gallup poll said that 80% of Americans realize that violent crime is a problem in this country. And, frankly, they're right. As last year, we saw the highest murder rate that we'd seen in 20 years in this country. But to your point, we don't have to live like this.
Right.
People can feel safe walking their kids to the school. People can feel safe going to the grocery store and actually making sure we have grocery stores that'll open in those neighborhoods. If we vehemently prosecute violent crime, and if we go out there and actually enforce the laws we have on the books, we can take our communities
Joe, we've
back.
done it. We've done it before. We can do it again. The tragedy is that there will be so many lives lost in between now and the time we fix it. It's not necessary. We know what has to be done. And unfortunately, we're not doing it quickly enough. I think we will, but again, not quickly enough. Joe, great to see you. Again, thank you for the work you do. Good to see you.
Thank
Joe
you.
Gamaldi.